This video contains the top 3 best Town Hall 13 attack strategies you need to use to 3-star any base you see. Let's kick things off with the Blizzard Lavaloon first. This is a very strong option where we're going to start with the Blizzard. Basically, we're going to be using a Lava Hound with the Blimp, and we're going into an area where we can get some pretty decent value and maybe even lure out the CC. Once the Blimp gets to its targeted destination using an invisibility spell, followed by then using a rage spell, and then timing your invisibility spells every 4 seconds. The goal here is to get as much of the base down as you can with the Blizzard. So getting some really nice key defenses and clearing out different defenses along with being able to clear out a compartment is the name of the game. It doesn't just have to be the Town Hall, but as long as you can get a pretty solid amount of value, this sets up your hero dive very well. Now with your hero dive, you want to make sure that your heroes are going in the right direction. So taking things like the Super Barbarians or Sneaky Goblins is great. You want to get your heroes in with the Super Wall Breakers and use Ice Golems in order to start moving yourself in. The goal here is to remove as many key defenses as you can. You can bring in the use of the Giant Gauntlet and Rage Vial or the Spiky Ball and Vamp Stash. It doesn't really matter because you want to just make sure that you're getting some pretty solid value. Outside of that, you've got your Royal Champion that's going to come in more adjacent from your attack in order to expand the value from your heroes, otherwise helping you in terms of the Lavaloon portion and being able to create enough pathing for it. With the hero dive set in terms of getting value, you've got your Lavaloon portion. You're going to use one Lava Hound with 3 groups of balloons right behind it and the Grand Warden. The idea is to get in early with this Lavaloon portion and use the haste spell to get to key defenses early, especially something like a multi-target Inferno. You do have an early Grand Warden ability since you're using the Healing Tome. In this situation, you want to make sure that you are using more Lava Hounds and balloons as you work across, using the haste spells to get to those splash damage defenses a lot sooner. Even air defenses are very important, and using the freeze spells in order to slow down and stop things like air defenses or multi-target Infernos from doing too much damage. Otherwise, just make sure that you have some cleanup. Super Barbs and Minions are great ways to clean up the base, which should allow you to 3-star very consistently, as this is a very strong option for those of you who really like to use Lavaloon. Now, if you're not a fan of using Lavaloon, you could always use the Electro Dragons with the Super Wizard, Super Minion Clone Blimp. This is my favorite type of army, where we're going to be starting off with the Barbarian King and the Archer Queen. The Queen has the giant arrow and is used to snipe 1 to 2 air defenses. As for your Barbarian King, you're establishing a funnel and then also using his spiky ball when it matters the most. It's really important though that you do want to make sure that you're using this a little bit later on so we can get some really good defenses down early on before having to use his ability and create much better funneling for your E-Drags. Now, with both sides of the funnel out of the way, it's time to send in your E-Drags. I recommend using 2 lightning spells on a sweeper that's going to be facing the way that you're attacking. You should also be using a Ice Hound with your E-Drags, balloons, Warden, and Blimp to tank. Using an early Rage and Grand Warden ability grants the Healing Tome and Eternal Tome on your E-Drags. While the Blimp flies over, be prepared to drop a invisibility spell followed by popping the Blimp, a clone spell, and a rage in order to make sure that you're getting massive value. Other than that, just keep timing your invisibility spells every 4 seconds when needed, and otherwise, that entire area of the base is gone from the Super Wizards and the Super Minions, all under clone. Other than this, this kind of just leaves the base completely defenseless, as you still have E-Drags and you have the back end Royal Champion to help clear through. If you have any extra invisibility spells, use them with your Royal Champion. It will really help, and your back end Royal Champion is going to help you a ton with this army. It is incredibly strong and, in my opinion, a lot stronger and more consistent than the Super Archer Blimp Hydra. And arguably the best Town Hall 13 attack attack is the Fireball Super Witches. It is really hard to stop, so you're gonna mainly start this off with a typical Grand Warden walk. The idea here is to remove early defenses closer to the outside, which is going to help your invisibility spell placement, which is going to help your fireball. The idea here is to target the Eagle Artillery so we can remove all the other defenses around it and the CC. That's the main goal here. So if you can remove the CC with the fireball, that's great. If not, it's still completely fine. As long as you can get some key defenses down, maybe expos, this is always really good with 2 earthquakes to secure the Eagle Artillery and the CC. This allows us to basically set one side of the funnel and then some. Now from here, you're going to lure your warden over so you can control him, and that way you can actually make sure that he's following your super witches. Now you do want to make sure that you're getting your super witches in, so using the Siege Barrack and the Barbarian King in order to create one side of your funnel is incredibly important. This way you can send in your super witches, getting them in with a super wall breaker and starting to move deeper in. Now in that Siege Barrack, you can honestly run Valkyries or whatever you want, but you could also bring druids in there in order to help your attack, which is especially true if the healers start to get taken down. Using jump spells throughout the base to keep them moving and an early rage to power everything in. Other than that, you're going to keep using your rage spells over your super witches and all your heroes in order for them to just get massive damage on all these other defenses. You've also got your back end royal champion that's going to be going around and clearing out the defenses towards the outside of the base. This is a perfect time to start using your cleanup, which allows you to save a lot of time, as this is going to pretty much be the end of the attack where you have been able to clear all of the major defenses, which is why super witches remain one of the strongest ways to attack at Town Hall 13. And with the fireball, it's just impossible to stop. So otherwise, as long as you have cleanup, you will very easily succeed in getting a 3-star with this strategy. Now, this gives every person at least something to use, whether you're an E-Drag spammer, someone who really likes the fireball, or just prefers to use Lavaloon. Now, if you are going to be someone who is going to be investing into the fireball, I heavily recommend that you check out my fireball guide right here, as it gives you the best understanding of the fireball and the best strategies that you can use with it.